It is time for Medical Monday right here on eRadio, and today we are doing something just a little bit different with Dr. Dylan Joseph, a bit more of a personal story, and then we'll resume our topics again as from next week. Dr. Dylan Joseph's mom recently had surgery, and that was with him, and he was the surgeon, and he's going to tell us all about this very personal and professional experience. Dr. Joseph, how's it going? Are you well?
Very well, thank you, Ian. And now I can wipe the sweat from the brow now. I'm just
like it. Yeah, that must have been, listen, that must have been intense. But let's just, before we get to the actual surgery, what was the condition that your mother had? And how did she reach out to you? And how did you say, okay, listen, I'm going to help you?
It's very interesting. Although my mom knows that I'm, an ophthalmologist and more specifically a cataract and refractive surgeon, what really started it, a couple of months ago was our Monday podcast. And, she'd listen with great intent, and she'd want to know more about cataract surgery and more about being spectacle independent or contact lens independent. And, at that stage, she didn't really know that she had cataracts, but she approached me to say, listen, I'm now done with my specs. I've had enough. I've been wearing them since I was 10 years old, and through COVID and my mask fogging up, and she's really keen on photography and an excellent photographer. And she's struggling with, viewing through the finder. And it was just becoming a hassle, and it was starting to get to the point where her life and quality of life was affected. And that was her major drive, more than knowing that she had cataracts, subsequent to the examination. But, she did notice things that she was, cleaning her glasses a little bit more than usual, which is one of the symptoms of cataracts. And her nighttime vision wasn't as good as it was with her reading. But the point is, she was still 100% dependent on spectacles during the day. And, hearing the stories, the testimonies, the patients that have been through the practice and are now free, was really liberating for her. And I think that's what, drove her to phoning me and saying, listen, it's time. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So that was the start of the journey.
So, okay, and obviously she said, I want somebody to do it, but not just anybody. I want you. I want you to do it.
That's always the big question, isn't it? And usually one is a little more cautious to operate on friends and family. But when you sit back and look at it and you say, well, you're experienced, this is your profession, this is all you do. So you are doing surgery on other people's eyes and offering them the technologies that you think are best and that are current and that are going to provide them with the broadest range of spectacle or contact lens independence. So why should it be any different when it comes to your mother or your brother or your aunt or your uncle?
Yeah.
So that offering remains the same. When it comes to understanding risks and complications of surgery, I am as meticulous with my mother and explaining it as I am with every patient. I mean, they all get a recording of their consultation. They all get written documentation. There's a verbal consenting process, understanding the risks and the benefits of each of the technologies. If some of my patients want to redo that or go through a couple of questions again about the different lens options, then we either have a telephonic consultation or they come back and sit face-to-face, or they can do a Vivior trial. Remember discussing Vivior, where you can determine your exact objective visual needs. So that was the process, and that, I was able to sit there and say, well, at the end of the day, I'm doing the best I can do. I'm providing a world-class professional service, and why should it be any different if it's my mom lying on the table? It's still not without its a bit of trepidation, saying, well, if you're 1 in 10,000 where, you could have a post-operative issue or dry eyes, etc., then those are things that you sit back and realize, well, I can manage them, can't I? And it's no different if you're well informed and consented. And it's the same process that my mom went through. I mean, when she stepped into the office, you almost change that facade from family member to you're the patient.
Yeah.
You've got to understand what the options are, what the surgery entails. And if you've got any questions, let's go through them. But it is a very personal, a very special experience, I must say. To be able to provide the gift of sight to a family member is something that, I I can't be thankful enough. And, it's still a little bit surreal. And I remember Arthur Cummings training me in Dublin, Ireland, and he said to me, he lasered his wife and 2 of his children. And he said, it's the greatest gift that you can bestow upon a family member is to allow them to see with freedom again.
Exactly.
And that's always stuck with me.
Yeah.
So
exactly. So that makes sense, and I totally agree with you. And then I wonder why some doctors they just flat out refuse to operate or work on any family members or friends. I don't know why.
Well, I think just to go back to that point, though, I think we've got to respect everyone's decision. And there was a time where I was thinking, well, maybe I should phone a good colleague or a good friend to do the surgery. So, it's different strokes for different folks. It's neither right and neither is wrong. If it's a person's opinion or a surgeon's opinion to operate or not operate their family, then we all respect that. And our surgeons that we then phone to take over the case, treat it with, the same quality of care that they would with every other patient. So, it's very subjective to the surgeon and whether they would like to do it or are happy with doing it. But it's certainly not right or wrong. It's just each to their own.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so then surgery day came around and your mom's here on the table. How did you feel? Were you nervous?
Yeah, I wasn't. To be dead honest, I mean, we'd gone through the planning and the staging, so many times as we do with every case. And it's thousands and thousands of cases that you do. So when your mom is lying there and you put the drapes over, you're seeing an eye. So
that's it.
It's no different to the eye that I operated before. It's no different to the eye I'm going to operate next. So if you can make this sort of mental switch to say, well, this is not my mom's eye. I'm just doing my surgery to the best of my ability and providing this person under the drapes with the gift of sight. And it's when you take that drape off and you can see, your mom's face and the smile that you realize, wow, that's when that emotion can start flooding, and you can. It's not only a sense of relief, but it's a great sense of gratitude. I mean, my mom and my dad have given me an incredible upbringing. They've put me through school. They helped me through university. They've allowed me to choose my own career path and my destiny. They've given me so much, and for me to give, something back that is actually life changing. I'm sitting here with goosebumps. It doesn't get better, actually.
Yeah, wow. I can't even imagine what it must have been like when you were done and your mom, it was complete, and then your mom, got up and now she's got brand new eyes, basically, and it's all thanks to you.
No, well, it was a wonderful journey, and we used fantastic technology, and I've been trialing some of these lenses for a while now, and in fact, the same lenses that I implanted in my mom, we're going to sit around a key opinion leader table in Milan next year, and 10 international surgeons who are implanting these lenses are going to sit and discuss them and give feedback and data about our cases and about our experience. So it's a privilege to be able to use this or be one of the key opinion leaders and the first users in the world of this technology, and to know that I can trust it enough to have that in my own mother's eyes.
Okay, so that's fantastic. Dr. Joseph, tell us, how is your mom's recovery going now? It's been a couple of days later. How's it going with her?
Yes. Yeah, so I operated my mom's one eye on the Monday and her second eye on the Wednesday. And already by the Wednesday, the first eye I'd operated was seeing 120%. And that Wednesday evening, we then went to a little viewpoint here in Neisner and looked out over the sea. And, it was a very emotional moment for me to, behind my mom's sunglasses, see a little bit of a tear, and an appreciation for colors and vivid life that she hadn't seen since she was 10 without spectacles. So that sense of freedom was immense, and it was an incredible moment for myself. And my mom's back in Johannesburg already. She flew back 2 days after her second eye was operated, and I got her to follow up with a good friend and colleague of mine in Joburg today, and he sent all the post-operative data and reports, and she's doing well, seeing better than me, in fact, without any help, another 20% better. So that's the quality of these lenses, and if it's if the right patient is chosen, then you're going to get an incredible result with them.
Definitely. Dr. Joseph, thank you for sharing such a personal story with us today. It's my turn now to have some goosebumps. Just before we wrap it up, how do we get in touch with you?
Yes. We're based in Knysna, and you can give Mariska a call on 044 150 0085, and she'll be happy to take your questions and book an advanced eye assessment for you to determine whether you're a good candidate for laser or for lens surgery. We've got a website, www.drdillanjoseph.com, so drdillanjoseph.com. We have a Facebook and an Instagram social media page, as well as a YouTube page where we upload all of these podcasts, our Monday podcasts, and as well as video that we record in the office about certain procedures, about certain conditions. So, feel free to go and join it as a member. And if you've got any questions, let us know.
Dr. Joseph, once again, thank you for sharing the story with us. A big regards to your mom. Maybe she's listening to the podcast. So hello, Dylan's mom.
I'm sure she will be. She does. Yes. She doesn't miss a Monday.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's great. It's so nice when your mom's your biggest fan. I've got the same situation. It's the way it should be.
Brilliant. Oh, wonderful.
Yes. Well, thank you for your story. And then next week we'll tackle a new topic. Thank you.
Excellent. Looking forward. Great. Yeah.
Have a good week.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Cheers now. Bye.